What's going on, guys? Steve with Adventure Off-Road X, and today we're in Wisconsin. We're on a family trip and we decided to come up and visit our major sponsors on our channel, Tyri Lighting. Man, to have Ken here is a bigger honor because this guy's the president of the company and he decided to come out and give us a little tour. So I really appreciate it, man, and really looking forward to it, man. I can tell you, I've been running the lights now for, let's see, about a year now, almost a year. And I've definitely put them to the test.
Yeah, absolutely. I keep track of what you're doing on Instagram and things, and yeah, you definitely put them to the test. That's a good way to put it.
Well, I appreciate it, man. So we're going to get into it, guys, and we're going to see what these lights are all about, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Tyri's history, where they come from, the direction they're going, and maybe some new stuff coming out. So stay tuned, guys. Check it out. And what made you guys decide to go into the off-road industry?
I had been visiting SEMA for, I don't know, a couple of decades probably. I was going every year just for other partners that we had in Europe. And I was looking around and seeing the lights, and especially when LEDs started to get more prevalent, I just saw a gap in the market because I thought most of the LED lights that were in the off-road market were just crap.
Yeah.
And I thought we really had something that we could really focus on the quality and the durability of it, and the performance especially.
Absolutely.
And have something that no one else in the market had.
Well, what I've noticed is in the industry, especially in the LED industry, they just say whatever lumens.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of almost like a made-up number of like, maybe it'll put out this, maybe it won't. You know, but nobody really knows. And you know, you see a lot of these bright lights, and they're bright, but they don't really project where they're supposed to project. It's kind of like, almost like when HIDs came out, and everybody's putting the HIDs in the regular housings, and they weren't made for HID lights. You know? So that's what it kind of reminds me of. But
and you know, like all of ours, I know a lot of people have criticized our lights because we have a lens pattern on all of them, so we can really control the light and direct it where it needs to go. A lot of people like to have a clear lens so they can see everything inside and it's nice and shiny. But one of our selling features as well is how well we control the light and we put the light where it's used. Of course, we get that experience from working on all this type of equipment where you know, they need every single lumen where they're working because someone's life depends on it.
Oh yeah.
And they don't want any stray light flying around places, you know, blinding people or anything like that. So we have to control it very precisely, and that's where we get the one of the reasons we have the lens pattern. So we do some in the optics and the reflector refractor, and then we have a finish control in the lens pattern.
Well, I know that you white label for a couple people, a big industry name, and I know one of them doesn't like to say their name, so we won't mention that one. But the other one is Jeep. So they manufacture all the Mopar lights.
Correct.
The off-road Mopar lights. So I thought that was really cool.
We white label them for Jeep. These two right here, our 1313 model and 1010 model, we white label for Jeep. So we do both Jeep and Mopar for them because they sell them also for the Dodge trucks. For the Ram trucks, I should say. And then we do our new V12 light bar. We also private label for Jeep as well. Okay, that's the new one that you have. Nice. Yeah, I've been looking at those too. So. Well, you have the one that's almost set up like a chase light. You have it on your on Dave's Ford. You have it outfitted on that. I thought it was really cool. And then we have these also, the 0606 model is chase lights. amber
Yeah,
chase
because you can
lights.
do ambers. You can change the lenses on those, right?
Yeah.
Or you have to order the ones that you want.
Yes, with the chase lights, they have amber LEDs.
Okay. Oh wow.
Because we have that dimmed down a little bit too, because otherwise it'll be too bright.
Yeah.
Blind people behind it.
Yeah, you don't want that.
So yeah, you can do white LEDs with an amber lens, or you can do amber LEDs with a clear lens, depending
Nice.
on what you like to look at.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
One of the other things that really just set you guys apart from other people is, some of your bigger lights, like your 1313 and even your 1010, you have the insulator, like for vibration.
Yes.
Or
Yep.
I thought that was really cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody has that.
Yeah. No. No. And we need to have that. In fact, we don't. With LEDs, it's not quite as important as it was with halogen or xenon or HID, but it still helps. It helps the structural integrity of the printed circuit board and the electrical connections and all that kind of stuff, because electronics do wear.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Over time, they definitely are going to take the beating.
Yeah.
Especially if you're completely off-roading all the time.
Yes. Yeah. And some of the components on there, although they're lightweight, still when you're doing 50G or 100G shocks, or you're getting up to 10 or 15G vibration levels. I mean, just a little tiny thing that weighs grams can shake off a printed circuit board in no time. It's incredible. So that really helps.
And then, another thing, guys, is these lights, hands down, there's no other off-road light in the industry that goes through as much testing as these do. I'll put money on it. I'll put money on it. Like, for real, I'll put money on it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know half of it, just because, I only know the part of it because looking up your company and talking to Dave and Cole, and just, going over and really just putting the lights to the test. But I was pretty impressed as far as like how much testing you guys go through. And I'm guessing it's because of the military contracts, or because you have to say what your lumens are. They have to be dead on.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
And they have to be. We have to be at the minimum. What we state is the minimum that we will get, because there are changes in, LEDs. LEDs are farmed.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think there's only like 3 major companies in the world that make LEDs.
Yeah, the phosphorus anyway, the phosphorus chips that are inside that actually emit the light. And there's a variation in all of them. It would be just like raising corn or something. There's a variation acre to acre. In what your yield is going to be. So it's the same with LEDs. There's a variation, and when they're manufactured, they never know what they're going to get. So they test them all at the end of the line, and they separate them into whatever bin. They call them bins. And so there could be a variation of plus or minus 10% in that bin. So we specify a bin, and then we measure them we measure several samples, and then take the lowest measurement and say this is the minimum.
Nice.
Pretty much can figure out theoretically. Our engineers know before we even ever have a light to test. Our engineers know about what it's going to put out.
Oh, wow.
So, and we've got a big increase coming in these 2 models early next year. We've got some upgrades that we're doing. Some new designs that have made the printed circuit board more efficient, where we'll get about 30 to 40% more light output.
Oh wow!
And the same current draw.
Nice.
So
I was really excited. So they just released this, I believe, in SEMA. I think your new lighting bracket to use for the fog lights. Correct?
Yes. Yep.
So it's for Jeep only.
Yes, and it only works on the factory bumpers right now.
So if you have a factory setup, factory bumpers, does Rubicon, non-Rubicon, or just Rubicon?
I haven't actually tested it on the
Sport.
On the Sport or the plastic bumpers. We designed it for the steel bumpers, but I believe it's the same.
I think they are. And honestly, with small verification or small, I guess, fabrication, you could probably make it work.
Yes.
Because I know that, like, on my Gladiator, I have a JK bumper.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was the same, JK or Gladiator. Yep. And on the housing part, the factory light went right in.
Okay, yeah.
So And it could not. I don't want to say it can, but right now they just released it at SEMA, and I thought that was pretty cool because I knew about it I knew about it since Jeep Beach. So
okay, right.
I've been waiting on it because, you know, I have fog lights down there, but you know they're the cheap aftermarket.
Yeah.
You know, so I definitely we're gonna get a set of those, and
Yep.
I'll let you know if it needs to be fabricated or not, because running it on my bumper, it takes both the factory ones and aftermarket. So I'll let you guys know.
And I know we need to do a revision to the design, because on the short, when you take the ends off the bumper, the stubby bumper, there's a bolt there that interferes with it. So we have to make a cutout.
Gotcha.
Okay. Most of the guys that run the stubby bumper like that just leave the bolts out because they don't do anything. Yeah. They're just filling a hole. The other nice thing about those brackets, I think, is that they're, because of where they're located, where they're in front of the front tire, the bracket is actually made out of stainless steel and then powder painted black. Nice. So you don't see it from the back, it looks nice, but with that stainless steel substrate, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it, especially up here in Wisconsin.
We got it over there in Florida too, just because, I mean, a lot of guys like go to the beach and stuff like that. It's a salt water, and that salt water tears up everything.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's I was really interested when I got involved. I met Dave and Cole over at the Tennessee Jeep Invasion.
Jeep Invasion. Yep.
And I met them, and we were going back and forth, and then Jeep Beach was coming up this year, and they're like, "Hey man, we want to get you aboard, blah blah blah." And we got all the lights, and we've been putting them to the test. I mean, I went all the way to Oregon. Yeah. You know, it was a 7,700 mile trip.
Yeah, you put on some miles.
You know, so I mean, this year alone, I've probably put close to like 30,000 miles on the Jeep. So
wow.
Yeah. So those lights have seen some cold weather. They've seen, you know, scorching hot, and it's been great, man. I mean, I've had no issues with them. I definitely love the design. I love the way that, you know, they do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
You know. Yeah. And you know, I've got friends with other lights, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But my opinion, 100%. That's why I really wanted to go with you guys, because there's not a lot of companies also that are USA made, and these are made right here in Wisconsin. So that's really cool to me too.
Yep, we'll show you that shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, we're gonna mosey on and see what else we can get into.
Yeah. All right. In this building, we have about 100 employees.
Oh wow!
And this year we'll be close to around 25 million in sales.
Wow!
And then we also have manufacturing in Sweden and the UK, where they do about another 20 million sales out of there.
Wow, man!
And then we have sales and distribution in Brazil, Italy, Japan, and Korea. So
I'd say in 32 years, you've definitely, you guys have definitely pumped it up.
We've done all right, yeah.
Definitely a growth, man. That's awesome. And then especially adding the off-road industry to the mix has been probably a really good thing for you. I mean,
absolutely.
How long have you been white labeling for the other two?
Since we first exhibited at SEMA, I think in 2015 or 2016. Okay. And that first year, Jeep approached us or met us. Took a couple of years to get through that process. So we started in 2018 is when we started supplying Jeep. Okay. And then a year later for the other company.
Nice.
And it was timed with the release of the JL.
Okay.
Because Jeep wanted to have all of their accessories that they released with the JL to be tested to factory specs.
Nice.
So, I mean, they sunk a ton of money, not only on top of the testing that we do, they sunk another 150, 200 grand into testing of this 5 and 7-inch lights.
I've seen their testing facility too, man.
It's
I mean, I haven't seen it personally, but I mean, I've seen it, you know, online, and I was pretty blown away. I was like, man, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I know one of the engineers there said that, you know, when they have this big test room where they test lights, and it's for headlights and everything, you know, tail and everything, and on every vehicle. And he said when they put our lights in there and turned them on, he said everyone was just blown away by how much power they had.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of our competitors, you know, have kind of gained on us a little bit now, but like I said, next spring we're making another big jump.
They might have gained on you as far as maybe lumens, but they don't have the testing.
Yeah, no.
They're not going through all the testing that you're going through.
No.
And that means a lot because, you know, when you make a purchase for a light, I mean, the lights aren't cheap.
No.
You know, these days. I mean,
Not good ones.
exactly. I mean, you can get, you know, the cheap ones,
Yeah.
but they don't last.
No.
You know, and when I look for something, you know, I want something that's going to last, you know, and be on the vehicle for a while, so I'm not having to change things out or, you know, go to another, you know, whatever. So that was one of the, you know, like I keep saying, I mean, that was one of the biggest things for me to make my decision. You know, one, American-made company, and two was the longevity of the product.
Yeah.
You know, so I really like that and focused on that anytime I put any parts on the Jeep. So they do all the testing, they do all the engineering here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild.
Yeah, we do vibration and shock. We do over in Sweden. We do environmental cycle testing here. We have a goniometer where we test light performance, light output. We also have one over in Sweden and also a big sphere in Sweden. And then we do salt fog, salt spray, and all over in Sweden. We have the equipment for that. Vibration and shock we do in Sweden. And what else do we do here? Well, we do IP testing here. So, and then we do dust testing over in Sweden as well. So at the time, they had more room for that kind of stuff there. So we just moved into this building last year. Okay. And we didn't have, before that, we didn't have any space for anything. So,
no, this is a nice facility, man.
Yeah,
this is 2 stories, man. I always dreamed, like, you know, having a company as well, just like be able to look out, you know, at the window and be like, you know, and see the productions. I don't know. Something in my head, man. I just really love that.
Yeah.
So I love this setup.
No, I get it. I grew up on a farm, and I remember, you know, in the summer, especially later in the summer, I'd see my parents standing out in the front yard, just, you know, either holding hands or had their arms around each other, just looking at the fields. Yeah. You know, just across the road, it's sun
was
setting.
That was their thing, man. You know, that's what they wanted, and they got it.
Yeah. You could see the pride in their faces for what they had accomplished, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. It's a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
guys, we're gonna mosey on a little bit more, see what else we can get into.
We first moved in here. We have 2 buildings here. So the second building, we had that space rented out. So they moved out at the beginning of this year. So when we first moved in here last year, we had the warehouse back here. We had production in this area here, and then throughout the first half of this year, we moved production over to the other building.
Nice.
It's climate controlled. You know, drop ceilings. Much quieter, much nicer working environment than what we had out here. So, so that's great. And then we've got warehouse shipping over in this little office over here, and this is all just components. We don't stock any. We don't stock very much in finished goods. Most everything is all components.
Oh wow!
And then we can usually turn an order around in a couple of days. So.
Okay. So it's literally made to order.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's another plus, man.
Yeah.
That's another deal, man. I mean, no other company's doing that.
Right.
Not that I know of.
No. I think most companies stock, and I mean, there's a few. We stock a few components or a few finished items that we sell retail, but otherwise everything is made to order. Nothing's built more than 2 or 3 days in advance.
Oh wow.
So.
That is awesome.
And with some of our customers, I mean, we have some pretty big orders going on. I mean,
I bet
we're shipping. This year, we'll build about 950,000 lights out of here.
And how many employees you got doing that?
100. We got 100 totally.
That are just assembling?
No.
How many to assemble?
It's 65 right now.
65,
70.
Now, do you guys do it in like stages? I work for back in the day, I worked for a company, they built like power breakers. And it was like an assembly line. You had one that finished this, and then boom, 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 and it kind of like went down the line. You know, it just made production a lot faster and sped up everything.
Right. Yeah. So most everything is a production line set up like that. We do have some where there's like the 1313s and our D18s where they have a more complex bracket system that we do sub-assemblies on.
Yes.
So things like that. We have some sub-assembly work for bracketry and wiring harnesses, but otherwise everything is pretty much just in line.
Wow.
And yeah, we don't manufacture any components here. That's all subcontracted to people who specialize in different, in their unique things like plastic injection molding or aluminum die casting or metal stamping, whatever it is. So we understand we're not specialists in that. We're specialists in designing and building lights. So but all of that tooling is owned by us. So we own all the intellectual property. We do all the design work.
Nice.
Everything in-house. So.
But I mean, you're still over the manufacturing and still doing everything at the final product. You know what I mean? So when you get that in and you're inspecting everything, you know, you're making sure that once you build the quality product or once you build that product to ship out, it's to your standards.
Yes. Yeah. You know? And we have a very rigid qualification process for suppliers.
Okay.
I mean, we do quality audits, and we're on top of them.
Okay.
I mean, to make sure that they make stuff to our standards, because our customer base really depends on us, relies on us to ensure that what we sell them is going to be the highest quality.
Nice.
So.
Now I know that it doesn't apply to the off-road industry yet, but I know you have a light that's manufactured that changes colors. I saw that one. I think
our
it's
IntelliLight system. Yep.
And that one's actually that's really cool. I mean, like I said, I know it doesn't particularly, pertain to the off-road community, but it's still a really cool setup.
It wasn't originally designed for the off-road community, but when we were at Easter Jeep Safari in Moab earlier this year, we did a couple of night runs, and when we were on our way back, one night we went out to Chicken Corners, and we're on our way back, and I had Cole drive my Jeep, and I had IntelliLight on my Jeep, so I was, and we were following another friend of ours down this dirt road, really dusty, and I kept changing the color temperature and the intensity to see how that would work, and actually changing IntelliLight to the warmer color temperature, I actually felt I could see a little better than I could with fog lights.
It's more like really?
Yeah.
So not quite yellow, but like in between that yellow white.
Yeah. It's still in the white spectrum.
Like 48K or something like that.
Yeah. But it goes down to, I think, 2800.
Oh, wow.
Kelvin.
Wow.
So, but it's still in the white wavelength.
That's really cool.
So, yeah.
Well, hey, I was wrong. Maybe it's something in the future. I mean, especially if you're, like me that goes off-road a lot and you're in remote areas. I mean, I get the question asked all the time. They're like, why do you have so many lights on your vehicle?
Yeah.
And I tell them flat out, I'm like, when's the last time you've been in a complete like darkness with no lighting other than the moon and stars, and then you'll understand why I have so many lights.
Right.
Because I mean, it's completely pitch dark, and a lot of times, I mean, on certain roads, it just eats that light.
Yes. Especially when you're out in remote desert type areas where you only have low shrubs. When you're in trees, it's different.
Yeah.
Like up here in Wisconsin, we've got a lot of tall trees, and you don't seem to need the lights that you do down in Utah or Arizona, down in the desert down there, or even Oregon or Idaho.
Oh yeah.
All those areas. When you get out there, especially a moonless night, it just seems to just suck all the light away. Yeah.
So I got side shooters. I mean, I got it all, and it's nice when you get to camp and you just throw those things on and you can see around camp, get your gear out and stuff. So it really worked out. And then driving ability is like you can see everything.
Yeah.
I have ditch lights that come off because I have the Mopar fender mounts.
Okay. Yeah.
and I have the lights up top, shoot out forward, and then I have two ditch lights.
Okay.
And it's awesome because, you know, when you're turning or you know, coming up to a turn area, you can see where you're turning, you know. So worked out really good for me.
To change gears on you back to IntelliLight, that's another thing that is different with IntelliLight, because you can change the color temperature up to 6500K, which is actually great up here, especially this time of year where you have you know, leafless trees and evergreens. That color temperature really shows differentiates like evergreen trees from deciduous trees. You can tell the difference of, you can actually see the difference in the just by looking at the bark on the trees, what kind of trees they are.
That's pretty cool.
Whereas the warmer color temperature then is better in snow, dust, fog, that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's you know, even though I've been doing this for this long, it's still fun to play with.
Oh, of course, man. Of course. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because I have 4 1313s on the front of the bull bar.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 of them at white, and then I switched them out to the yellows.
Yeah.
And I got them on 2 different switches, and it really playing around with that stuff. Is really cool.
Yeah. So we should probably get over to production before we got 10 minutes before they go on break.
Go on lunch.
So, yeah. So yeah, we're still working on. We gotta waiting for the more racks to come in, and then we gotta drop all of this structure down so this will all be warehouse.
Oh wow! So you're gonna put all you're building those all out?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. We'll extend all those out and give us a little more room to organize a little better, so we have more open space for stuff.
So break room?
Yep. Yep. Break room. I'll come back to this, but this is actually our maintenance area.
Okay.
We actually design and build our own production equipment here, production machines and everything here.
Wow.
So go right in here, this receiving area. We're actually made some upgrades to this production line here, so they're putting in some new screw machines, different things. So this will be an automated, more semi-automated line.
Nice. So you just put it on there and it kind of.
Yep.
Nice.
It has a pallet system that just goes around, and I think there'll be 2 or 3 people working on this.
Okay. Very cool.
That will do everything from.
So you made all this?
Yes. Yeah, they got the guy on the other side there made. Yeah, he designs and his team builds it. Yeah, and we do it all in-house.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there's a couple advantages to that. Number one is if anything breaks down, we know exactly how to fix it. We can fix it quickly. And number 2, it saves us a ton of money.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it can be up and rolling within hours versus days.
Yeah.
Sometimes weeks.
Yeah. So to have something like this built outside would cost around 3 times what it costs us to build ourselves. So.
Well, because they're not manufacturing multiple units.
Right.
And that's the name of the game. I mean, if you're manufacturing multiple units, then that's how you get your cost drive down. But, but with this, that's good, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
So as you can see, it's a really nice environment, working environment. It's quiet. Let's see what's all running here today, because we've got some machines or some lines that are pretty automated. So these 2 lines here is where we build most of the LED lights for the off-road.
So these are just the housings. This is how they come. It's just basically.
Yeah, that's a bezel.
That's the bezel.
We actually laser engrave it, and we have to put a label on it.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that's done as a sub-assembly.
And the backs.
Yep. Yeah, so sub-assemblies are produced on this side.
Okay.
And then they just transfer across the aisle.
Nice.
And then they do the final assembly here. And we still have, like these lights that they're building on this line right now, it's a manual It's a lot of manual work, but once that automated line,
This will automate a lot of this.
yeah. So then this line will only be used for the bigger lights that are harder to automate.
Nice. Hey,
Yeah.
got your stuff figured out.
Yeah. This is actually a light we built for Daimler trucks. Goes on the Freightliner.
Yeah, I actually have some.
Freightliner
I have some
Cascadia.
of those.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are actually my side shooters off my
okay.
that right below my tent.
Ah.
So I have them shooting out.
Yeah.
So when I get to camp, I turn those on. It's like,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
I love them.
So it's a computer-controlled test. There's actually a small sphere underneath that measures light output.
Okay.
They put it in. These are multi-volt lights, so they are designed to operate from 9 up to 80 volts.
Oh wow.
So this this program will take they start out at a nominal voltage. It goes down to check the cutoff to make sure it cuts off at 9 volts. And they'll do an amperage reading just before it cuts off. Then it brings the voltage back up to make sure it comes back on at 9 volts.
That's pretty cool.
Take a current reading at nominal voltage of 12 or 14. Then another one at 24, 28, 36, and 48, which are the voltages, it's the machine voltages these are designed to operate at. Then it takes it all the way up, make sure it cuts off at the appropriate voltage, and then brings the voltage back down to make sure it turns on at the appropriate voltage.
So if you have a fail here,
Yep.
it goes into a different box, I'm guessing, and then
Yes.
you reevaluate it.
Yes. Then the quality department will take a look at it, determine what, and everything is recorded and stored. All the lights are serialized. They either have a serial number or a lot number on it, so we can go back and we can determine if there was something wrong with that lot or that particular light, or if there was some anomaly in the test itself. It may have met all the specs, but there could have been a minor,
I got you. But it tells you, and then all you have to do is go back and see what the case was, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So 300, 600,000 lights at a time. And if they're all the components are from the same lot, we can determine that if one of them fails and say it's the amperage reading at 48 volts was on the high end of the tolerance. We could tell if it's only one light or if it's the whole lot or whatever. So that way we can understand what our risk is for the population out in the field.
Nice.
And if there's anything we need to test further.
That's wild, man. I'm telling you,
helps us learn more.
Again, I'm gonna say it again. I mean, testing. I mean, this is why this company, hands down, from any other company, off-road lighting company, is just. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Oh, yeah.
And to see it like this.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Yeah. We can walk around this side.
That's a cool machine.
Yeah, so this is also a machine we built in-house.
Okay.
And so it goes through, pick and place robot. We put a bead of glue around the connector. That goes in. The robot picks up the printed circuit board, installs the printed circuit board and the reflector. Then it screws it down, goes to the next station, installs a bead of glue for the lens, and then we install the lens manually.
Wow.
And
That's pretty cool.
Goes around and have the bracket installed and then tested. So we just made some new changes to this machine too. That's why the guy was here.
No, that's really cool. Again, just to make your manufacturing faster and more precise.
Right.
This is one of your older stations?
Yeah,
or?
this is a new line for
This is what you're building on the other side.
Yeah. So this is going to build our new baseline light.
Okay.
which is one of the first, well, the second light that we've actually designed for manufacturing that is actually designed to go together real quick and easy. This one over here, our P3 light, was the first one, and then this is the second one model that we've done that way. And we're moving more that direction now.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the volume that you guys are doing. I mean,
yeah.
it's just going to get
and
more.
This one too. I mean, our baseline model, it's designed to be assembled kind of like a hamburger. You just stack it up, snap the bezel on, and it's all set to go. A little bit of glue here and there, seal things up. And
nice.
Yeah. We're constantly doing something. I mean, we're constantly, improving a line, or changing something, or moving lines around or something to try to find that best, most efficient mix.
And that's gonna be a consistent thing. I mean, until you get to, a certain point, like you're like, all right, well, this is perfect for this style light.
Yeah.
Boom, and go from there. So
this is our. Believe it or not, we still make about 200,000 or 300,000 halogen lights a year.
You make halogen still?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought those were already all dead.
No, they're still cheap, and so some OEM customers still want them for their lowest priced machines.
Yeah. Nice.
So
that's all this one does.
Yeah.
Just
this one builds halogen lights. This machine here puts in all 4 screws. Then it does a light test with halogen. Of course, it's only light it up, make sure it lights. You can't.
Yeah, you can't really test anything else.
No, and then it goes around. We've got a machine that tightens the bracket, and the machine at the end there actually glues the lens reflector unit.
Nice.
It's also kind of cool because the glue robot down there puts the bead of glue on, then it takes the reflector and sets it on the lens. So we actually have, you can see the red lights we have in there. So we have a vision system to make sure that the reflector and the lens are lined up properly.
Nice.
So with a clear glass lens, the camera can't see the lines properly. So we use red lights, and we get enough refraction in the lens that the camera can sense that the lines in the lens pattern are correct.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's thinking outside the box.
Yeah, well, that's one of those things that when we first started it up, it didn't work, and we couldn't figure out why, and then took about a month of trial and error to figure this out. So
nice. Yeah, these lights I have not ever seen. So these are takes a little. And now are these interchangeable or no? The lights themselves.
Yes. Yeah, you can replace the halogen bulb.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just so that's the unit, gasket.
Looks like an H1 bulb or something.
H3 actually.
H3.
Yeah. So
nice.
So this happens to be a 24 volt. This end's actually 36 volt. So that's going on a forklift. Be an electric forklift.
Nice. Well, Ken, this facility's fantastic, man, and it shows that you guys really put the work in. It's not just a standard off-road light that you can just buy. You know what I mean? You're buying a quality light. At the end of the day,
it's built in Wisconsin.
Built in the U.S. and Wisconsin, man. I love it.
Yeah. Show you one more thing out here. We've got down here. We've got our thermal cycle chamber. So you mentioned testing. So this beast here It's our climate chamber. So we test from minus 40 Celsius to plus 85 Celsius. It goes between the two every 8 hours.
So it just keeps going back and forth?
Just keeps going back and forth for 28 days.
28 days.
And when we're at plus 85 C, the humidity is at 90%.
Oh, wow.
And at minus 45, it's of course, you know, almost zero. Because otherwise it'd snow inside.
Yeah.
So we keep doing that back and forth. One of the reasons we do that is because you know, there is a cavity of air inside each light that as it heats up and cools down, it will expand and contract. So we need to make sure that the way we seal our lights will seal, because they are sealed properly, because otherwise that will, when it cools down, it'll suck in moisture from the outside.
Wow.
So we have to make sure it's perfectly sealed, and that the way we've designed everything, all of the other components, that when it gets hot and there's more pressure inside, that they'll withstand that pressure as well.
Wow. That's,
So,
again, man.
yeah, most of our lights have a breather, on them that helps regulate that pressure change and the moisture. So it's possible sometimes in high humidity areas, the environment inside the light, the breather allows the environment inside the light to equalize with what's outside. So in high humidity areas, it can introduce some humidity in there, and if the lights don't get heated up and burn off enough, I mean, it's the same with most LED lights everywhere.
Yeah.
Even car headlights have a breather in them. So you can sometimes see a little bit of condensation inside, but usually as soon as you turn the
light
lights
on, yeah, it goes away.
it burns it off and exhausts it out the breather.
Very nice.
It doesn't cause any problems. So.
That's a cool machine.
Yeah. I like the name too. It sounds like a superhero. The Thermotron. Yeah. Yeah, right, it kind of is.
Wow. And then you're going to show us the where you manufacture.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, this is our maintenance area. We've got, you know, a small brake press, you know, band saws.
So this area is where you make
all of our
your
machines. Yep. Jigs, fixtures.
Nice.
All of our machines. We got a CNC milling machine. And then, yeah, we've got a metal cutting bandsaw back there.
So you just develop it all.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you got your engineers here that can make it happen.
Yeah, MIG and TIG welding. Yep.
Nice.
So.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, it's all in-house, and you can be up and running in hours versus
Yep.
weeks or months.
Yeah.
Because really, I mean, getting a part these days, like anywhere, is insane.
Yeah. 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 The only thing we don't have is we used to have a 3D printer, but we wore it out, so we haven't replaced it yet. So.
Gotcha.
Because we used to make some of our fixtures out of, we'd just 3D print them.
Oh, okay.
We design them in CAD and then we 3D print them. And,
Nice.
It's a lot faster and easier than milling them. They didn't last as long, but we could do it so fast that it was still
Yeah.
made
You probably
sense
had
to
extra ones and just kind
Yep.
of change them out.
Yeah.
Nice.
It usually lasts about 6 months, and just swap them out when they got worn out.
Wow.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
There were only like 4 of us.
You started the company, there's only 4 of you.
Yeah. So we started in 91. There was like 4 of us. I think 92 we had our first year of sales, which was like less than $300.
Wow.
And then 93, then it just started to go up, up, up. So yeah,
That's really
it was,
cool, man.
Yeah.
Now you were one of the founders.
I was one of the first employees. I wouldn't say I was a founder. It was a couple of who are now my partners that founded it.
Nice.
And then I didn't become an owner until like 95 or 96.
That's pretty cool, man.
And then one of our partners, actually 2 of our partners, retired in end of 2015. So another owner and I bought them out. So now it's just two of us.
Oh wow!
Who own the American side.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man. That's incredible to see the growth of a company like that, man. That's,
It's scary as hell, though.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah. I have a very small scale, small business, and it's scary at times on my side. So I can only imagine. I mean, this is this is crazy, man.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
And to just feel it. I mean, I can feel the passion, and then that just makes it even better for me.
Yeah.
To come out here and meet you guys. And Dave and Cole are phenomenal, man. I like hanging out with them and just, and they have the same passion. I mean, they believe in the product, and when you have employees or owners and you all believe in the product, I mean, that's, you're not just putting out crap.
Yeah.
And
you'll also see we've got a couple of signs posted around here. One of them's right when we came in, right at the entrance there. It says, "Work hard and be nice to people."
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do. Yeah. So I grew up on a farm. I'm one of 11 children, and that's one of the things. My parents all my siblings are just nice people, and so we try to carry that throughout the whole company. And
that's awesome, man.
Work hard. Work hard and be nice to people.
I think I'm gonna leave my kids up here for you. Yeah. They need to learn a little something about being nice. To each other.
Oh wow! But each other is a whole different ball.
I think that just comes with the ball game, which is brothers and sisters. So.
Yeah. Our customers are the most important thing to us. So,
awesome.
and I know that you're not necessarily a customer, but you're definitely an advocate for our products and our brand, and that's where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
Is, what our customers think of us is all that really matters in the end.
I appreciate the history lesson, and I mean, I can be a lot more confident going out, and talking about it. 'Cause I mean, I tell everybody about Tyri Light. Certain people believe in their style, or a lot of people even buy for just looks.
Yeah, right.
They don't even care about the output. They don't care about the production. They only buy them for the looks.
Right.
And that's fine too. I mean, I'm not dogging it.
No.
But I want something that I'm confident enough to, when I'm out in the sticks. With nothing. I can see.
Yeah, if you're serious off-roader, serious overlander, I mean, especially overlanding, when you're out off-grid for days or weeks at a time, everything that you have, you depend on for your life, basically.
100%.
And it's really important to have the right stuff.
Well, guys, this is Ken's personal Jeep, and he has the Intella light.
Yeah.
These are the color changing lights that you can change the temperature range. You can turn them on and off on an app. Each one of them has its own receiver.
Yep.
So show you what these things can do for a minute.
So you can group the lights separately, and then you can control them each group separately. You can increase the brightness. Turn them off. Change the color temperature to bright white or warm white. Or you have 3 other settings in between. Or you can control all of them at the same time. And the same thing, change them all to cool white, warm white, something in between, change the brightness.
Guys, I can tell you, man, that's a pretty cool light. I mean, I already knew about it because I was watching videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess I just didn't even think about doing it off-road. I mean, but that makes sense now.
Yeah.
It's like you said, I mean, you were out and just be able to change that little bit of that temperature on that light, and just you see a little better.
Yeah.
Because certain things, you can have the brightest light in the world, And if it's not the right temperature light,
Right. Or the right lens pattern.
you're not going to
Light
see
pattern.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not going to see it.
Yep.
So, well, guys, we're going to finish up here, man. We had a hell of a time. This has been a great time, man. This has been a really good time. Again, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, great. Glad to have you, and
Yeah.
you're welcome anytime.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
See you guys.